tax write-off from it. Just wait right now, because you might pay down your house and then all of a sudden the price of that house goes down. So you threw away good money after bad money from the standpoint of time value of money. All right. One of the big mistakes people make is they rush through getting out of debt. We've got clients that come to see us and say, hey, I want to pay off the house. So I'm going to take money from my IRA until I bring them back to reason. And usually it's a balance like 100,000, 150,000. Maybe the home's worth 400,000 or 500,000. And I said, so you're going to get double whammy. You're going to pay tax on that money. You're going to lose the time value of money. And where can you buy that house now? All right. And I said, if you absolutely can't sleep, I said, it's your money. You do what you want to do. But my advice is I'm supposed to advise you on what to do. How many people have we helped in that process?
Absolutely.
Now, you have Dave Ramsey that'll tell everybody, get out of debt, get out of debt. You have Robert Kiyosaki saying, learn how to use debt. I go with the latter. You learn how to use it. Donald Trump says, learn how to use debt. And he also says low interest rates are a big winner. So let's back up to what you said. Very well said. Good article that you read. So basically, folks, here's your options. And I want to speak to all races, all genders, everybody that's listening to this show. Maya Angelou made a statement that I have learned to pay attention to. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Okay?
Amen.
Believe them. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So why would a Kamala Harris win be any different than it was under Joe Biden, except maybe she's awake and she laughs more, okay? Or cackles or whatever, okay? And look, I'm not trying to be critical. I think you can tell my opinion, but again, they have shown me, they have shown us who they are. If you're better now than you were before, go for it, okay? If you can genuinely say that. All I can tell you, I was told that when I got healthcare, I didn't have to change doctors. I'm gonna get a benefit. Guess who's paying for everybody else who's getting the benefit of not changing doctors? The people who had no insurance before, who do and boast for its wiles. But guess who's got a $20,000 expense before my policy pays anything? Okay? That's what it boils down to. So, couple of stories there, folks. So think about what I'm saying. All right. We're going to go to a Trump victory. Okay? Now, I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial.
No.
And sorry, Pat. I'm going to say something that's controversial. And the reason I'm going to say it is I want people that if they want to take an advantage of a guaranteed 8% roll up for income, they've got another 2 weeks to do that. Now we have 10% guarantees, 12% guarantees. We have an account that's adding 47% to your retirement account. Folks, that is not a mistake. 47% to your retirement account. If you're an older person and you're just taking RMDs, that's a great account to park your money, because in 10 years, that's a 4.7% average of growth on your account, plus whatever it performs. Okay? So if Trump wins, we need to go back to a different system of healthcare. And Tom, you're right. You're right with what you're saying. So if Trump wins, we go to a different style of healthcare. But here's what I'm going to say that's very controversial. I want you to sit on this for a second between the break. I think they're going to try to kick the can down the road again. The feds are going to try to lower the rate a little bit, and it'll have a very short-term effect. And they're going to wait till Donald Trump gets elected, and then the market crashes. That's my opinion. Now, if the Republicans win Congress, that'll be good, because then it won't be the gridlock that we experienced in his first term. I do think that Trump will stimulate the economy like Ronald Reagan did after Jimmy Carter. You all remember inflation. He will strategically lower the interest rates. And so even though they might try to crash the market and make it as hard for them as they can, okay, whoever they are, you all figure out who they are. All right. I believe that those policies will work. Folks, stay tuned. We are out of time. Call us at 800-440-0434. Go to mymoneyissafe.com. We'll be right back.
They're coming to take me away, ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away. I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ah, well, you just wait. They'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the...
Attention retirees. Right now, you have an opportunity to add anywhere from 10 to 47% to your retirement account. That is not a gimmick. This is real money. This is not going to be available much longer. 8% guarantees, 10%, 12% guarantees. They are going away. And I just played the song on our show. They're coming to take us away. Well, folks, we're not crazy. This is real. Call us at 800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com.
Experience the best selection of cigars and accessories in the country. Corona Cigar is located at 4142 West Boy Scout Boulevard across from International Plaza, or visit coronacigar.com.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. Israeli first responders say 3 people were shot and killed near the border crossing between the West Bank and Jordan. Israeli police said the shooter was killed without providing further details. The border crossing is used by Palestinians, Israelis, and international tourists. A manhunt is underway as police search for a gunman in a rural area of southeastern Kentucky near I-75. Authorities say up to 7 people were hurt in the shooting and a vehicle accident that accompanied the violence. Pope Francis has arrived in the remote jungles of Papua New Guinea. He landed in Venimo on the northwest corner of the country with a ton of humanitarian aid to deliver to the missionaries and the faithful who live there. Francis started his Sunday in the capital with a mass before an estimated 35,000 people. The trip is part of Francis' belief that the peripheries of the Catholic Church are more important than the centers of power. More online at srnnews.com.
The 2024 presidential debate is this Tuesday. Join Salem radio hosts Mike Gallagher and Bill Bunkley live at the Studio Movie Grill in Seminole for a special debate watch party. Starting at 7, Mike hosts a pre-debate live broadcast live. Then we'll watch the Trump-Harris debate together with Mike's commentary throughout. Sponsored by Celine Pastori and Simple Math Wealth Management. Don't miss it. Tuesday night, the AM 860 The Answer debate watch party at the Studio Movie Grill in Seminole. Tickets are still available at theanswertampa.com.
Helping you get where you're trying to go. Get digital media solutions for your business. Visit surroundtampa.com. Surroundtampa.com.
For today, mostly cloudy skies and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area, high 90. Tonight, partly cloudy with widely separated thunderstorms, low 77. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and humid with thunderstorms with a high of 88. Get your weather news when and how you want it wherever you are. Download our free app or visit AccuWeather.com. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Caitlin Lawrence for AM 860, The Answer.
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away.
Welcome back, folks. This is Greg Elliott of the Prosperity Group. The song you heard, we were talking about the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, right? So the reality is that's called insanity. So as a result of that statement, I played the popular song, I think it was like in 1966 or 67, They're Coming to Take You Away. Ha ha, hee hee, ho ho. So that's what I just played. Really to bring people to understand the insanity of what's going on. All right. And let me tell you what happened, folks. On our Facebook broadcast, when I played that song, I think it shifted something in the algorithm because it put on there like 500 screens. Okay, I'm not kidding. Go back and look. Is somebody listening to us? Oh my goodness. Like, how how low can you go or how strange can it get? That's what we've got to figure out, folks. That's what we've got to figure out. So, Patty, we were talking about if Trump wins, and I said something controversial. I said I believe they will crash the market. All right. And I mean that. I think they will crash the market. I think he's smart enough to know what to do if he can get the cooperation. So I think it's crucial that the Republicans maintain maintain, what do you call it, control of the Congress. If they don't, then it's going to be very tough. So a retiree, how do we relate this to retiree? Okay. All right, to a retiree. What I'm telling you, folks, regardless of who wins, you need to take advantage of these opportunities that we're talking about. Now, let me go over these opportunities right now because this is big. We've got an account that will add 47% to your retirement account. Okay, that's not a mistake. 47% to your retirement account. So what am I saying? I'm telling you that there's an opportunity that's not around very long that I believe you need to take advantage of. I really do. And this is crucial. All right. This is crucial. If you don't take advantage of this opportunity, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. So again, what can we do, folks? What can we do? So right now, Patty, we have an account perfect for somebody who has an IRA and they're just taking required minimum distribution. And they say, I want to leave a nice benefit to my family because it falls within the distribution rules of the IRA.
Absolutely.
All right. This is going to be around short-lived, but they will add 47%. And I think this is a great strategy for somebody who's over 70 years old to consider that only plans on taking their R&D. Okay. They will add 47% to your account. There's no fees on this account. It's insulated. It's safe based on the claims paying of the insurance company. It's using an insurance strategy. So listen to the numbers, folks. This is not a gimmick. And by the way, folks, you can reach us at 1-800-440-0434, or you can go to mymoneyissafe.com. All right. mymoneyissafe.com. So that means they're going to add 47% to your retirement account. All right. So that means if I got $1 million, they're going to add $470,000 to your retirement account. That is not an error. That's not a misquote. I want to be clear about that. And so this is huge. This is huge. You're able to do that, folks. You're able to take advantage of these strategies.
Right. And like you said, the strategy that you're discussing, adding the 47%, is going to be good until August the 26th.
Thank you for clearing that up, Patty. So that's good till August 26th.
Right. And and now they may extend it. Depending on what's going on, but with the environment like it is today, I don't think that would happen.
I think they'll reduce it substantially.
I do too. But right now they're saying August the 26th.
So folks, did you hear? That's one example of something we're able to help with. The other example is we've got an account that will add 8% compounded to your money for income. So that means you're getting what's called a roll-up of 8%. All right. This is a big payout. So if you have an account that's older than 2022, you could substantially increase your income, even for those of you who have triggered income. This is big. And this is an account that works. In fact, if you've heard us before, if you have met with us before, you might want to meet again. These are numbers that I have not seen in my career, really ever. The last time I saw 8% guaranteed for income was in 2011. All right, starting in 2009, lasted to 2011. So this opportunity is big. We have other accounts that will add as much as 18% first dollar into your account. we have accounts that will do a blend. Folks, those of you who need income, and listen to me very carefully, if the Democrats get elected, you better have a vehicle to guarantee you more income. If the Republicans get elected, then, and on actually on both sides, you need the right tax strategy. I believe you need the right tax strategy, period, because people have the wrong tax strategy. They are already talking, the Democrats are talking about raising the tax on Social Security. My guess is they're going to try to get 100% of your Social Security taxed. None of it should be taxed. Okay? So this is important, what I'm saying, folks. This is really important. So if Trump wins, think about what I just said. So for those of you who are staying on the sidelines because you say there's an election coming, I'm going to wait to see what's going on, I believe you are jeopardizing and putting your money at risk. There's another group, folks. Patty, there's another group, current 401k holders.
Oh, absolutely.
If you are 59 and a half and you can do an in-service rollover, call us, because now is the time to do an in-service rollover before the money goes down. How much money did you lose in your 401k last week? Let me ask our listeners. But don't worry, it'll come back. It always does, right?
But guess what? I mean, just imagine if you were planning on retiring.
Mhm.
I mean, did that dip make it necessary for you to work longer, possibly?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I want to retire at 65.
And how much do you need to do
Yeah.
to retire at that? And not only that, with the cost of living increasing, I mean, there are just so many things that we could help you with. Like Greg said, as far as taking advantage of these promotions and the tax planning, because that is one surefire way to give yourself a hedge and an upper hand on the future and the taxation.
Absolutely. Folks, you can reach us at 800-440-0434, or you can go to mymoneyissafe.com. Mymoneyissafe.com. Folks, you can also get our book. My first book, the Prosperity Plan ABCs. Get a copy of the book. We are giving away the copy of the book. We are also offering a white paper in regards to the election, if you want to see what's going on regarding the election, how it could affect your retirement. But again, I want to appeal to people that have a 401k. They need to protect their money like never before right now, like never before. So this is really, really important, folks. It's really, really important. So folks, you want to get a copy of the book, give us a call, 1-800-440-0434. Go to mymoneyissafe.com. Mymoneyissafe.com. Patty, all right. Do you think we've outlined effectively what happens if Trump wins or if Kamala wins? Is there more you think we need to add?
I think the key thing is to be aware and to plan.
Right.
I think
Right.
that's the key thing. I think that we need to realize that whoever is in office, whoever does win, we're going to go through some pain growing, hopefully, years.
Yes.
And talk to your financial advisor. Please call us. We'd love to give you our perspective on it, of how to do that best.
Yes.
Because it's time to be strategic.
Absolutely.
Because you can't trust them to take care of you.
Patty, if people have their head in the sands, they got to come up for air. Folks, if you want to learn how to get an 8% guarantee, how to add 16%, 10%, 25%, 32%, 47% to your retirement account, give us a call. 1-800-440-0434, or go to mymoneyissafe.com. Those of you on Facebook, love to hear your comments on that. I really do. So take advantage of these strategies, folks. Take advantage of these strategies. It's very, very, very important. So, folks, you want a copy of the book? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When my eyes fail to see and even though it seems impossible to me,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a 401k right now and you are 59 and a half or approaching 59 and a half, or you haven't done this strategy, it's called an in-service rollover. I believe now is a crucial time to do that to protect your accounts. You want to learn how to add 25 to 47% to your retirement accounts. Call us 800-440-0434. Go to mymoneyissafe.com.
Well, summer is upon us and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people and you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. ReliefFactor.com, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-473-5433. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
to see.
Welcome back, listeners. This is Greg Elliott, the Prosperity Group. And folks, we are on Facebook Live when we record the show, so you can go to Prosperity Group at Facebook Live and you can listen to the shows or watch the shows. I mean, one of the participants on Facebook, a loyal listener, Tom, he said, "What do I think about the last few days?" Okay. And he's referring to the volatile, I almost said Molotov cocktail. That's the cocktail people are sitting on right now, by the way, a Molotov cocktail. I really believe that. I believe these are the birth pains of the risk of the market. I almost get the feeling, I'm not saying this is accurate, but think about it, that there's a desensitization process.
Mm-hmm.
That when this happens again, people will not react. And those are people that are very, very vulnerable. They're very, very vulnerable, folks. It is crucial. It is crucial. All right. Give us a call at 1-800-440-0434. You need to hover into safety. I really believe that. I'm not saying, bury your money in the sand by any means, but you need to hunker into safety. All right. That's crucial. That's crucial. Patty, we've covered a multitude of things right here. What's your thoughts?
I think that what you said is accurate. I think that people are being lured into a false sense of security.
Right.
By having the market up and down and supported again. It's like, oh, well, we're not at the point to where it's like a reset. It's not going to keep going down. We're not going to, we've had like umpteen years of growth. We're not going to have, 125% times that of deceleration and of recession, et cetera. It's just been propped up so much. And so they're having that false sense. That's one thought. The other thought, I'm sure we have listeners out there that have been blessed beyond, and they're worried about their family.
Right.
And that's one thing that we haven't addressed today that we do address on our other shows. But we think that we're able to help clients with that we're not at liberty really to discuss right now, but it's a great way to preserve your wealth and to pass it on to your loved ones so that you can secure their future. So that should there be a dichotomy of classes that they don't end up on the wrong side of that
Right,
dichotomy.
right.
We're here to help you with that too. And it's a really phenomenal tool. So there's a lot of things that we do have available that we can help our clients with through this transition that
Right.
we, the United States, are going through.
Well, it's true. It's true. This is a huge transition that's going on.
Mhm.
And folks, let me tell you something right now that are listening to the show. Taxes are at risk. If you don't do tax strategies, we met with a client and we talked to them about the P-strip strategy. In
Mhm.
fact, we met with some clients yesterday. And not everybody understands the P-slip strategy. They get confused. And so they're not sure how
They're
to
not sure,
implement it.
but what I did like
Mhm.
is that, I mean, absolutely, we are not a one size fits all. We
Right.
are very customized. So everything we say is not going to be for everybody.
Mhm.
But what I do love about the clients that we met with yesterday is they are thinking twice about the direction they had originally were so married to,
Uh-huh.
and that is paying off that mortgage.
Yes,
They're
yes.
finally like, no, wait a minute. Okay, you have been saying this, and we've bought into the smart money strategy.
Mhm.
Okay, we've got that going. And I hear what you're saying now, and I see where there's some validity to that, and etc. And so that's just the kind of thing that we do. I mean, it may not make sense immediately to you, and it may not ever make sense to you, but then it may.
Patty, it's like somebody builds a Tesla,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how it runs. I know it runs.
It's freaked. I mean, for you, okay, a lot of you listeners are probably a lot smarter than me. So what I mean by that is that, you know how you watch the shows on TV and the sci-fi things, and a cyborg, you open up the brain and there's not all the ooey gooey stuff. There's just like and it just looks really freaky, scary.
Right.
That is the feeling I got when I looked under the hood of your car the first time. I am a girl engine nerd. I love cars.
And there's no engine when you looked under
Oh,
there.
honey. It was horrible. I was just wanted to shut it real close and pretend I didn't see. I was like, it just freaked me
I know.
out.
I know.
It was like somebody else is driving it. Somebody else is controlling that.
It is very strange.
But anyway, you said about Tesla.
So, but here's the point of what I'm saying. Not everybody understands the components or why things work the way they do. But here's what most people understand. Taxes. They understand that they pay either high number of taxes or they reduce their taxes. Here's the big problem. You have people doing it the wrong way, where they're making taxes wrong, and they're getting people to make.
Are you there?
And they're making the agents making money at the client's expense. Here's what you need to think. If the majority of your money is pre-tax money, IRA, 401k money, and you don't have a tax strategy, and our prosperity plan it's called Prosperity Plan. It's my next book, 7 Steps to a More Prosperous Retirement. All right. These are accounts that can make a big difference in the way we set it up for you right now. We also have the Prosperity Retirement Money Map. All right. And we can calculate the income with you, everything. So this is really, really important, what we're saying. Okay. You can take advantage of these sound strategies right now. You can really take advantage of things, folks. You need to call us at 1-800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com. That's mymoneyissafe.com. We can give you strategies that will absolutely protect and prepare you from what you need to be ready for. I mean, this is crucial. This is crucial right now. So again, Republicans win, Democrats win. The strategies are still the same. They're still the same for now. At least through the next year, next to 12 months. Now, I'm talking the strategies we use for our clients. If you want to learn how to take advantage of these strategies right now, you need to call us at 1-800-440-0434 or go to mymoneyissafe.com. I'm gonna say one more thing. And then Patty, I want your comments on it. I still have a feeling there's something else coming up between now and the election. There's something coming that may affect things. Okay. Thank God President Trump was saved by mere inches. But some of you may have heard I can't think of his name right now, Jesse Waters on Fox News talk about how they have not even have sharpshooter detail for the president. The first one that they did was the rally that he got shot at. Isn't that interesting? So when they finally put the sharpshooters in place, there's an attempt on his life, and he's saved because I believe an angel turned.
How you doing this morning, Doctor?
Hanging tough. How you doing?
Let me think. I got to adjust all my volume up here. Say something again.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, you're sounding good now.
But we're back to that problem with Restream where I can see Kenneth Zaire, but I don't see me. I see your name, but I don't see me.
And I'm seeing you on a very half screen here. You're right in the middle of it, but on top I'm seeing my name, and on the bottom I see black. So I'm not sure what's going on.
You're bleeding over, I guess.
Looks like we're talking about the hip today.
Yeah. So at any rate, I don't know what's going on with the it's something at your end. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's at my end. I don't know.
Now we've got nothing to do with the Restream here. That's all your end. So
yeah. Well, they'll see your name while I'm talking. How about that?
I think they'll find the page anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but they won't see the broken hip.
Oh, they can't see you at all. Huh? All right, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why not. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. I never stream. The only time I'm on Zoom is when I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd prefer to have you in the studio.
Well, it's a long drive over there for 1 hour.
It is, and it'd be just as complicated here because we stream from here then. So
Probably be easier in some ways. Have more control.
yeah, we do take the internet out of it a little bit, so it's always good.
Okay,
Anytime you want to, let us know. We'll be happy to set it all up.
Now I'm seeing something.
Well, you got 6-7 minutes to work on it, and I'll catch you after the weather.
Do you see, is anything coming through, or do you have your laptop on?
Let me go to my phone Facebook, see what that says.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's working now. I don't know what I did, but it's working. So.
Well, I haven't gotten there yet. Hang on a second.
I'm waiting. I'm not going anywhere. At least not for another hour or so.
I can see nothing. No, there it is. Okay. I see your Dr. Bill Open Radio MD.
You don't see me? Scroll down.
There you are. Now I got you.
Okay. We shall see.
We shall see if anybody can see. That's right.
That's right.
I know they'll hear. That's what my main concern is today.
$800-390-6201. That's 800-390-6201. Again, 800-390-6201.
American democracy is under attack. The 2024 presidential election is the most pivotal of our lifetime. Are you ready to make your voice heard? Join us at the Battleground Talkers Tour in Sarasota. This is your chance to hear from the nation's most influential conservative voices, Mike Gallagher, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, and Larry Elder. Saturday, October 26th at the Hyatt Regency, Sarasota. VIP reception at 5:30 p.m. Main event at 7. Reserve your seat now. Visit theanswertampa.com to secure your spot today.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. The 2024 presidential debate is coming up, and I want you to join us for a night that will truly be unforgettable. Tuesday, September 10th, I'll be hosting a big debate watch party from the Studio Movie Grill in Seminole, and you're invited. We'll watch the Trump-Harris debate in real time on the big screen, and I'll be providing commentary and getting your reaction to it all. Get your tickets now because they're going to sell out quick. Go to theanswertampa.com, theanswertampa.com to order your tickets. Your chance to be part of something big. Don't miss it. I'll see you there.
WGUL on W229DJ Dunedin. Powered by Prosperity Group. Contact Greg Ellie today at 864-989-0176.
Experience the best selection of cigars and accessories in the country. Corona Cigar is located at 4142 West Boy Scout Boulevard across from International Plaza, or visit coronacigar.com.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. A former VP says he plans to vote for the current VP.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney says he'll vote for Kamala Harris over former President Trump. The former VP and career politician said Trump, quote, can never be trusted with power again, end quote. Former President Trump responded by saying both Dick and his daughter Liz are irrelevant and Republican in name only, also referred to as rhinos among true conservatives. Tasha Stevens reporting.
At the United Nations, the U.S. and Ecuador want peacekeepers to replace the Kenya-led mission in Haiti to quell gang violence.
The proposed Security Council resolution says that UN peacekeepers are needed to maintain the progress made by the current multinational mission. This mission has already sent nearly 400 Kenyan police officers to assist the Haitian National Police. But many Haitians have rejected the proposal of another peacekeeping operation, given the introduction of cholera and sexual abuse cases that occurred when UN troops were last in Haiti. Some Haitians also see UN peacekeepers as an occupying force. I'm Rika Ann Garcia.
Volkswagen is considering closing some factories in its home country for the first time in the German automaker's 87-year history. The CEO also has told employees the company must end a 3-decade-old job protection pledge that would have prohibited layoffs through 2029. VW's management says the moves are necessary to meet cost-cutting goals and to remain competitive. Elsewhere, Stellantis is recalling nearly 1.5 million Ram pickups worldwide to fix a software problem that can disable the electronic stability control. The recall covers certain trucks in the 2019, 2021 through 2024 model years. This is SRN News. Well, summer is upon us and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people and you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. ReliefFactor.com, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-473-5433. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Helping you get where you're trying to go. Get digital media solutions for your business. Visit surroundtampa.com. Surroundtampa.com. Just when you thought your smartphone couldn't get any smarter, now you can add the AM860 app with local news, national headlines, and commentary. The answer is smart. Adding the AM860 app to your smartphone is genius. Get it now at the Apple App Store and Google Play.
For today, mostly cloudy skies and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area, high 90. Tonight, partly cloudy with widely separated thunderstorms, low 77. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and humid with thunderstorms with a high of 88. Get your weather news when and how you want it wherever you are. Download our free app or visit AccuWeather.com. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Caitlin Lawrence for AM 860, The Answer.
The following program is sponsored by Bay Area Medical Can Care Clinic.
Go, Doc.
Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Bill, your radio MD. I got Ken with me, as usual. We didn't let him go out of town this week. And yeah, and we're doing a show. Speaking of rain, my God, did you experience the kind of storm we had over here in Pinellas?
Yeah, it seems like I've been having one of those every day.
Well, no, I mean, the street was flooded. The water was up in our garage. It came
Oh,
into
my.
the stream behind us had turned into a lake and had covered the road to the development behind us. So it was all over the golf course. It was pretty cool. I would say I've never seen that much rain fall in that short a period of time. It was unbelievable. Everything was being washed away.
No, I didn't have that kind of flooding. Nothing even close.
We had it, baby. We got it.
I've been told that I live in Sun City Center, so I've been told when they built that place, they looked for the highest ground they could find.
Well,
in the Tampa area. So.
Yeah, that was smart. All right, so interesting case. One of my patients who has led quite an interesting life. You know, the camera work you see for the Super Bowl and the NCAA and all that.
You mean what kind of still or television or
The
film
television camera
television?
work.
Okay.
He started the business that does that. Now he's retired and he gave it to his son and some investors, but then he got relatively wealthy off of it. But he's a character. He's flown himself all over the country. He has more hours in an airplane than anybody I've ever met, including a commercial pilot.
What's he fly?
Well, he did have, forget what he had. He had some kind of high performance plane with the pressurized cabin and all that. But I grounded him a few years ago. He just couldn't do it anymore.
You must have broke his heart. I bet you broke his heart when you did that. These guys love to fly.
He lived life to the fullest. He drank heavily when he was younger and quit smoking, but food could not be shaken. And he was a big guy. I mean, morbidly obese. Now he lost some weight, but he fell a couple of years ago and he broke his femur, which is the long bone, your thigh bone in your leg. And so he's been in a wheelchair since then because he never regained enough strength to walk. So at any rate, he comes into the hospital and he's in severe pain, and he's been that way for 2 or 3 days, and it hurts when he moves. And so we did a CAT scan on it, and he's got a fracture through the trochanter, which is, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, is up here. See intratrochanteric. See
on the right as we're looking at.
Yeah, on the right. That's the trochanter there, and then the neck of the femur is over here on the left. And so the femoral head is that ball up there at the top, and then the socket is the hip. So he had a fracture through there. Oh my God, it was unbelievable. He got psychotic in the hospital, and he was swinging at the nurses, and he pulled out all of his IVs and everything. And we finally got him calmed down after 4 or 5 days so we could get him to surgery. But interesting story. I mean, he has osteoporosis, which of course is something that women get commonly in their older years. And here's the procedure we did on him. Let me get this up here.
Looks like he'll
So
be setting off some metal detectors.
yeah, he'll be setting off the metal detectors. He already had some hardware in the femur, but then we had to go back in and do this. And so these are screws, and then this is a big screw that holds the head of the femur in place. So it looks like this on the cartoon picture here.
Mm.
For those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, and if you're not watching and just listening, it looks like a big old spike going from the femur up into the hip socket to hold the femoral head in place. And then you have to anchor that. So this is a big deal, and big surgery, and he's not going to do well because he's just so I don't know how to say it. He's motivated, but I just don't think he has the strength anymore to do it.
Well, if he couldn't stand going in, is he going to be able to stand coming out? I mean, it's going to help. It's not going to help him at all there.
No, it won't help him at all, but it'll stop the pain. And then when we do a total hip, it looks something like this. It's a metal socket that fits into the hip socket, and then there's a ball that goes down into the femur with a neck on it. So basically, you're replacing the neck of the femur and part of the hip socket itself. The hip bone's connected to the thigh bone and all that.
Oh yeah, there you go, Doc.
So at any rate,
song and dance from Doc this morning.
Here's the problem. This is not uncommon to see in people as they get older. Hip fractures are one of the most common fractures in people in their senior years, and more common probably in women than men. And this is because of osteoporosis and osteopenia, which means loss of bone. Now, you probably don't know this, but bone has two components to it: calcium hydroxyapatite. Calcium, that's the cement. And then instead of having rebar, having steel in there to support it like you would with cement, you have organic collagen strands that go across, and they act like the rebar. Because as you know, the lateral strength of concrete or cement is not very good. You have to have some metal in there. The compressive strength is okay, but it's the lateral. So you got to have some way that things won't break when you move side to side or fall down.
Right.
So how do you avoid this? Well, it's not always easy, and there's a lot of people. There's probably 20 million people that have an element of this in the United States. And interestingly, Ken, this starts, we think, at birth with lower birth weight kids, and also family history. Genetics plays a part, and of course, dietary intake, because you have to have a certain amount of calcium and vitamin D to build the bones. And then there are people who have abnormalities of their hormonal system that interferes with the normal manufactured bone. And as I told you before, we turn our bone over every so often. So everything is constantly being remade and repaired because we're always breaking little itty bitty microscopic parts of the bone.
And that continues even in your old age.
Well, it slows down, which is part of the problem. And so you have two sets of cells in the bone. You have osteoclast and osteoblast. Now, the blast cells, they lay down new bone, and they're from the mesenchymal line of blood cells or of human cells. And then the osteoclast, clastic means to break down, and those are from blood-forming cells in the bone marrow. And so they're constantly working to break down and to build back up the bones. And you say, why do you do that? Well, first of all, you have all these microfractures that have to be repaired. And as you're growing, of course, you have to add bone. That's
Sure,
what gives you the height. And when we're babies, we're mostly cartilage like a shark, but that's replaced with bone as we grow. That's why you can take a newborn and drop them and not hurt them too much.
We don't suggest you do that.
No, I mean, we did a little bit of that, tossing them around and when I was on pediatrics, but we called it baby tossing.
Okay.
But at any rate, so we have to have this process going on. And the calcium hydroxyapatite is the calcium-based cement. Now, you know what cement is. Cement is calcium carbonate and calcium oxide. And where do we get that from?
Beats me.
Limestone.
Oh,
Limestone is primarily calcium. And what you do is you take your limestone and you break it into small pieces, and you put it in an oven and bake it for a day at 2200 degrees. And you get what's called clinker, which is cement. Now, we also mix in things like kaolin and mud and aluminum and silica and different things to give the cement some strength to it. But when you cook that stuff, it's then highly reactive with water. And that used to be a big problem in the old days because they'd ship cement. Of course, before railroads, they'd ship it by boat. And so you have in the hold a whole
a big old brick of cement.
Yeah, you better make sure it doesn't get wet because it'll catch on fire. It's a exothermic. It gives off.
Oh, real? Oh.
So there are a lot of ships went down from that. So
that'll up your insurance.
Yeah, well, and that's why Lloyd's of London charged so much back in the day if you're going to haul cement.
I didn't know it's flammable. Well, I don't know how do we avoid it.
You can't pick your genes. So a healthy, nutrient-rich, balanced diet. And the Roman gladiators, everybody thought, oh, well, they must be carnivores. They were mostly vegetarians because strontium is in high amounts in vegetables and vegetarian foods. And strontium is one of the treatments we're using now. Strontium pills are one of the treatments. That's a heavy metal. So you want a nutrient-rich, balanced diet, adequate intake of vitamin D. And people say, well, I'm out in the sun a lot, and especially older people, because we lose the ability to convert the vitamin D from the inactive form that's on our skin and is absorbed into the active form. So it's a two-step process, and it requires your kidney and your liver to complete this. And then vitamin D3 is the active hormone. And of course, that's what we're giving everybody now in the 1,000 international units or 2,000. Get your vitamin D level checked.
Is that over the counter thing, or do they have to come to?
No, that's over the counter. But if you're going to take vitamin D, it would be a good idea to make sure that you need it. I mean, you can get too much vitamin D, and then that has problems in and of itself.
To get a blood test first. Okay.
Yeah, come see Dr. Bill.
Absolutely. Give that phone number there.
411. And hurry up, damn it! I'm slow. Get out here. Now, believe it or not, one of the most important things is regular weight bearing and muscle strengthening exercises. Why? Because the little cells, the osteoblasts and the osteoclasts, they respond to weight bearing. And if you're not weight bearing, like my guy that's in the hospital, then you're going to get osteoporotic. You're not going to lay down new bone.
All right. Well, this sounds like a real problem here, Doc. So you talk about exercise and eating right. Basically, it's the same old lecture. Exercise and eat
I'm
right.
not done with it yet, Ken.
Sorry.
What's next?
I don't know. What's next?
Smoking cessation.
Oh,
smoking causes osteoporosis.
It does? Sorry, I had to turn my mic off. I was coughing. What was that again? I didn't hear what you said there, Doc. So
something about cigarettes.
Oh, is that really? Okay. Well,
and
all right. So that's three things I have to work on. I have to eat all the foods I hate, and stop smoking, and start exercising.
It may
be
too
dead
late,
on
Ken.
Thursday.
It may just be a pile of calcium. And
all
cut
right.
down
Well,
on your
seriously.
alcohol intake.
Seriously, now you got vitamin D, so you got milk. What else? What else is good for milk? Cheese, I imagine. Any of the dairy products?
Dairy products have vitamin D and calcium. And if you want a real cheap, easy form of calcium, get some Tums. Basically, it's limestone that's ground up and has some things added into it to make it absorbable and palatable and tasty. But Tums.
Is that Rolaids too, or just Tums?
I'm sorry?
Is that Rolaids too, or just Tums?
I don't know about Rolaids. You can check and see what it has in it. I'm sure it has some calcium in it, but I figured Tums was one of the cheapest things, so that's what I tell my patients. Rolex has a bigger brand name, I think.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much interchangeable. So, all right. So we got the Rolaids and the dairies. And
You got dairy, and of course, you need some green vegetables, and you can also get if you need replacement, you can take the strontium pills that are on the market now. They've been in Europe for a while. Those Europeans, they're so smart. But what amazes me
they're
is
just faster than us.
What amazes me is the Romans. Oh my gosh, how much stuff they discovered and things they figured out. Oh, unbelievable.
They had a lot of time. There was no
They did.
internet. There was no internet. There was they had a lot of time, So wonder what this does. Here, take that.
Now, if you do have this, we have treatment for it. We have biphosphonates, which are the cheap, easy one, alendronate and risedronate, and they're Fosamax and Boniva. We have it in intravenous once a year. And we say take that for 5 years and then take a holiday because there seems to be a little bit increase in deterioration of the jawbone after you're on that for more than 5 years. And then we can also use injectables like denosumab, which is a monoclonal antibody that interferes with the little osteoclast and stops them from breaking down the bone. And we have synthetic hormones, parathyroid hormones that we can use, but these are expensive. And, most of my patients can't afford this stuff. So that's why we start with the biphosphonates, vitamin D, calcium, regular exercise, be nice to your mother, and eat your food.
I'll try, Doc. I'll try and work on everything.
Okay, so Ken, you brought up the cell phone thing, and there's an article, I forget where I saw it, it was Wall Street Journal or somewhere, as to a debate as to whether or not kids should be allowed to have cell phones in school.
Right.
And this has been ongoing, and there's a school of thought now that in an emergency, the kids are texting and trying to reach out to their friends and their family and their parents, and I love you, and I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, and that sort of thing. Instead of paying attention to the adults to tell them how to get out and where to hide and all that. Now, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know if it's really something that we can rely upon, because a lot of adults in a crisis will panic.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I'm not going to make that call. I don't know.
I just don't know. And I think that this Georgia school shooting was something that brought this back up into the public eye and up for debate. Now, I don't think kids should have their cell phones in class because it's a distraction when you're trying to teach them. And the number of mass shootings, although it's very headline grabbing and sensationalism at its best, it's really not that common. It's pretty rare. What do we lose? A few hundred people from mass shootings a year in a population of 350 million? That ain't much.
No. Percentage wise, it's nothing. Yes, exactly.
But of course, you don't want your family.
But everyone, there's a mom somewhere crying.
Yeah, and when one mom cries, they all cry.
Right. Maybe Mr. Vance is correct. I mean, maybe it's just time we have got to the point in society where we just need security in all the junior and senior high schools. They got to that kid pretty quick.
I think in the public schools, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The private schools, those kids are screened a little bit better for the most part, and I don't think we've had any. I can't remember it was what was the one up in the Northeast in Connecticut or Rhode Island?
I don't remember.
Was that a private school? I can't remember.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. I don't think I remember any private schools having mass shootings, but I may be
you
wrong.
rarely hear the word saint in front of the school name. So
no, and Our Lady of Grace, there's not a whole lot of people that want to go in there and shoot them up.
Yeah.
Although they did get this guy up in Canada, in Toronto, Mohammed Khan. He's a Pakistan native who's living in Toronto. Did you hear about him?
I had not heard about him.
Yeah, he was the FBI notified the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. That's their FBI, their federal police force. And the guy was picked up because he was planning to come down here and go to a synagogue in New York City or some Jewish center in New York City and shoot up a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to kill Jews. And so they got him.
Good.
They got him, and he's in the custody of the RCMP, and the United States is suing for extradition of him. He's being held on charges up in Canada for plotting terrorist activities, which is a crime, as you know.
Sure.
But I mean, this is a good thing, and I think it shows that our FBI is being somewhat proactive, and I'm glad to hear that. I really am. I think it's important for people to feel safe, especially sub segments of the population like the Jewish community, and a lot of hoopla over anti-Muslim sentiment was going on a while back. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is anti-Semitic. There's still so much anti-Semitism, and there's still so much hatred. And then once again, I say Islam needs to undergo a reformation. We need to get the Quran straightened out a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in our lifetime, Doc.
I don't think so either. But you never know. I mean, you never know. You look at the Protestant Reformation. That happened pretty quick, but it was not without war and strife, and it took a Black Plague to sweep through Europe to get people thinking that maybe maybe everything is not God's fault, and maybe the church is well intended but not always right about you're being punished. What am I being punished for? I didn't do anything. Well, you're human. You were born with original sin. I wasn't, Ken.
You weren't?
I was not born with original sin. I was born perfect. I
And
deteriorated
still are
after
today.
that.
And still are
After-
today.
After that, I deteriorated.
Oh, okay.
So this Georgia school shooting, the father is on trial too. Did you know that?
Yes, he's been charged, I think, with
He's been arraigned and charged for
serious
manslaughter.
charges. Yeah, serious charges.
Big charges. And I don't have a problem with this. I think it's about time we started intervening. As I've said before, we really need to intervene when the kids first come to pre-K, and but people will pitch a fit about this, and they should be screens, psychological screening, and those who show signs of abuse or neglect or sociopathic behavior, then we need more social workers to get into the homes and be foster grandparents or whatever. That's what my sister did. But
Well, he didn't he buy his? I think the boy is 14 years old, which I think is too young to own a weapon in Georgia. And I think he got him a gun after the law enforcement came to his house and said, "Hey, your son should not have a gun," and checked his guns to make sure they were locked up okay, and they were. So I don't understand this. I mean, if he went out and bought him a gun after he got a visit from authorities, what's he thinking? I mean, at some point you got to use just common sense, you know?
Well, the father said that he did not have any ammo in the house. And apparently in Georgia, you can't buy ammunition if you're underage. At least that's the law. Now, out in the country, who knows about that? You may be able to walk into any Walmart and get some clips.
You could have a friend who's the same caliber.
You could have a friend.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like we did when we were kids. We'd go up to the pizza joint out back, and we'd pay one of the guys that worked there $5 to sell us some beer. That's how we got around that.
Sure. If you're enterprising, you can get around just about anything
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
15 years old.
And you can lock up anything you want, but you got a teenage boy, he'll figure out how to get it apart.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
I don't know. There are no answers, really, no easy answers.
And this is the thing. If we screen these kids early when they're still under 6, we might have a chance of turning them around, of ending the abuse and neglect in the home. And you can say, well, I didn't beat my son. Well, you know what? There's different forms of abuse and neglect, Ken.
Oh, sure. Mental abuse is just as bad.
Psychological,
Yeah.
and giving kids the wrong message about morals and values and what's okay and not okay in life, and having an angry, hateful attitude towards the world. I mean, most kids will survive that, but a few won't. And they'll become criminals.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, Doc. You're absolutely right. Once you start on that path down that road,
Yeah, it's
you begin to feel that you belong to something. That's why the gangs are so popular.
Yeah,
in the inner city, because you're a member of something.
yeah. And look at this gang out in Denver. They took over a whole
That's
apartment
right.
building.
I know, that's crazy.
I actually get 10% of that because I turned
Really?
them on to it. Yeah.
I thought maybe you're doing telemedicine with those guys. Maybe you got
No, I just, I texted them and said, "Hey, this building's ripe."
Okay.
And they said, "Okay, you get 10%, Doc." I said, "Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you."
All right, Doc. I'll be watching the trial. You know what? It's coming up on a break here. Take a look at that clock there, Doc, and it's almost 9:30.
Oh my God, 9:29 in 12 seconds.
That's right, and it's time for a question, I think.
All right, because we've been working hard here this morning, so we need a break.
Been delivering a lot of good information, especially those over 65 at the moment with the osteoporosis. Today's question, by the way, good for two. Dr. Bill, your Radio MD coffee mugs, Doc, holding one up right now. Looks just great. And the first person with the correct answer wins two at 877-969-8600. The question is today, what part of Doc's house took water during the flooding this week? What part of Doc's house took some water during the flooding in St. Pete this weekend? First correct answer wins at 877-969-8600. That's 977-969-8600. Ain't that right, Doc?
You got it. And don't forget, Dr. Bill's at 727-384-6411. 727-384-6411. And don't forget your COVID and your flu vaccine. We'll be right back. I'm Dr. Bill with Ken.
Experience the best selection of cigars and accessories in the country. Corona Cigar is located at 4142 West Boy Scout Boulevard across from International Plaza, or visit coronacigar.com.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. A relative of the Georgia high school shooting suspect says the teen's mom called the school before the killings. Annie Brown, the suspect's aunt, told the Washington Post that his mother called Appalachia High School about 30 minutes before the Wednesday shooting to warn them of an emergency involving her son. Brown has confirmed the reporting to the AP but declined to comment further. Her nephew, 14-year-old Colton Gray, charged with murder over the fatal shooting of 2 students and 2 teachers. A year after a deadly earthquake struck Morocco's high Atlas Mountains, reconstruction efforts are slowly moving forward. Some residents of towns hit by the quake have praised the incremental progress made and assistance they've been provided. Many people who remain displaced from their homes, though, are angry and in despair. Rubble remains on the streets in many of the region's towns and villages a year later. This is SRN News.
Dr. Bill for Bay Area Medical, located at 6399 38th Avenue North in St. Pete, 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. Full service clinic with x-ray, heart imaging, ultrasound, stress testing, and minor surgery. We provide quality health care in a warm and friendly atmosphere. We are multilingual, well-trained, and certified. Most American insurance and new patients accepted. Bay Area Medical, home of Can Care, 727-384-6411. 727-384-6411. Dr. Bill here. With social distancing and sheltering in place, telemedicine is here. Bay Area Medical Home of Can Care Clinic offers telemedicine for new and established patients. You can see me without an in-office visit. Schedule an appointment at 727-384-6411. 727-384-6411. When it's time for your appointment, type this web address into your cell phone or computer web browser, doxy.me/Bay Area Med. The cell phone works well and is all you really need. For computers, you need a web camera and speakers. We'll give you this address when you call for your appointment. We accept most insurances and travel insurances. Canadians and visitors, please call your travel insurance company for an authorization number prior to the visit. Copays and deductibles apply. Self-pay rates are available. Just ask. We accept credit cards, PayPal, and Stripe. 727-384-6411. 727-384-6411. Dr. Bill here. My friends at St. Pete MRI and Sleep Diagnostics are your best choice for state-of-the-art MRI, CT, and sleep studies. Quality unsurpassed. 25 years experience makes St. Pete MRI my go-to imaging center. Self-pay rates are competitive and out-of-pocket cost a fraction of a hospital. Conveniently accessible from both sides of the bay at 750 94th Avenue North, St. Pete, near the Gandhi. 727-577-2220. 727-577-2220.
Helping you get where you're trying to go. Get digital media solutions for your business. Visit surroundtampa.com. surroundtampa.com.
For today, mostly cloudy skies and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area, high 90. Tonight, partly cloudy with widely separated thunderstorms, low 77. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and humid with thunderstorms with a high of 88. Get your weather news when and how you want it wherever you are. Download our free app or visit AccuWeather.com. That's your AccuWeather forecast. I'm Caitlin Lawrence for AM 860, The Answer.
Go, Doc.
And I'm back. This is Dr. Bill, and I got Ken. I think he's still there. Are you there, Ken?
I certainly am. Never leave your side, Doc. You know that.
Thank you. That's so sweet. So
even during surgery, I'm right there next to him.
Yeah, right there. And you holding the retractor. So interestingly, just at the break, the guy that I put in the hospital with the hip fracture.
Yeah.
He called me. He wants to go home and take a shower. The poor guy he can't even roll over in bed. I don't know who's going to help him at home. He says, I got everything set up, Doc. I'll go home and I'll come right back. I'll talk to you when I get there, George.
Well, I wish him luck. I hope he's feeling better.
He was going to leave when he first came in. I said, go ahead, get up and walk out.
Walk out.
And he's got Italian heritage, so he loves his pasta, and there wasn't any pasta in the hospital, so he's upset. At any rate,
Well, send him a pizza.
Send him a pizza.
Send him a pizza. That's right.
And he'll only drink Diet 7-Up. He won't drink water. He won't drink Coke, Sprite. So we have to go out and get him Diet 7-Up special. At any rate, Venezuela's opposition candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, after he lost to Maduro, he didn't lose, but Maduro has control of the country. And so the election board, of course, is controlled by Maduro. So who do you think won that?
Gosh, a Maduro?
I think Maduro won it. So I think Gonzalez figured out that his days were numbered. So he sought asylum in the Spanish embassy, and Spain has granted him permanent asylum. So he'll be flying out to Spain if he doesn't get shot on the way to the airport.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll work that out somehow. I hope so.
Here's the scary thing, Ken. I see a similar situation developing in the United States, and I don't know how to get through to people that even if you don't like a candidate or a president or whatever, you don't arrest him and lock him up. You don't shoot him. You don't, drive him out of the country. You make peace and you move on.
That's the way it's been historically. Exactly.
Even when John Quincy Adams lost to Andrew Jackson in what really was a pretty dirty election, one of the dirtiest in the history of our country, John Quincy, after he had his one term in the White House, he went back into Congress to work with people and try to pass legislation. And
that's how you do it. You do it from the inside.
Yeah. So you got me. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Why so much animosity towards Trump? I don't hate Biden. I don't agree with him. And I think it's horrible that his family and his allies talked him into running for president when he's as sick as he is and has such bad Parkinson's disease, but I guess it was part of his vanity too. But
yeah, I'm sure he has got a pretty good ego. He is president, you know.
yeah, but there's no reason to kill the man or lock him up. I mean,
Yeah, you got to be honest with the guy. Too much at stake, you know.
yeah, you just keep working it out. That's why we have three branches of government to balance everything out. So he says he's going to forgive student loans, and the Supreme Court says no, you can't. So I mean,
The way it works. Yeah,
that's the way it works. You can say what you want as a president or as a politician, but getting it through, it's like Trump said, he's going to make it illegal for kids born of illegal aliens to be American citizens. Well, you'd have to change the Constitution. You can't do that just by fiat.
No, not that one. Not that one.
No, that's embedded in the Constitution. If you're born on American soil, you're an American.
Your parents aren't.
Yeah, well, that's their problem, not yours.
That's the family's problem.
That's the family's problem.
By the way, Doc, nobody got the right answer today. Nobody knew that your garage took some water.
Dang, guys. Come on, let's pay attention here, kids.
Thanks to everybody who called in.
Wake up out
the
there.
mic's working, Doc. The mic is working.
Wake up out there.
We just didn't mention. I think we mentioned it once, very quickly.
Yeah, I think we did. So we should have made it easy. Like, what happened at Doc's house this week?
There you go. Next week we'll take care of that. But thanks to everybody who tried to call in.
So apparently, some scientists and researchers and cartographers and whatever these guys are that look at the satellite pictures have found what they believe to be the launch site for the purported Russian nuclear-powered missile. Now, I didn't even know that they were developing one, and whether or not it's going to work, who knows? But I guess they'll probably use it as some kind of a way to make electrons and use it as a propulsion mechanism. Radiation's not only gamma rays, Ken, it's also electrons and also helium nuclei, which is the second lightest element. So we have three kinds of radiation, basically. The first one, the helium nucleus, is very harmless. Won't even penetrate your skin. The electrons, they'll do a little damage to the skin, but they won't get inside of your system and do any damage to organs or to the DNA. But the gamma rays are the bad ones. At any rate, so they're developing this, and apparently we have intelligence that we know where the site is where they're going to launch from. If they get it off.
Why are we putting it out there, though? Why would we say that? Why would we say we know where it is? They're just going to move it.
It's a big thing, and I don't think that this is something that they want to keep secret either, because they want the world to think that.
With
like
everybody shaking
Sputnik.
in the boots, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Sputnik. Look, we did it first. We got a missile into space, and it's nuclear powered, and so we solved the energy problem. So this thing can go for 1,000 years.
All right,
We'll see.
I guess it'll blow up on the pad, but that's the way it goes.
And spread radiation.
Radiation right there in Russia. That's right.
They had a big accident during the Cold War decades ago, and they kept it covered up. But I think they wiped out a whole town with a nuclear accident. That when they were testing stuff.
Did they? I thought they admitted that somewhere. I guess
Did they admit it finally?
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, there was a lot of radiation going around the planet after that was being picked up in nearby countries.
Well, it's a little bit of radiation is good for you.
Well, you don't want to come in over the borders.
No.
So.
And meanwhile, the U.S. tells its allies that Iran has sent ballistic missiles to the Russians. So the Ukrainians are getting swacked with Iranian ballistic missiles.
Well, maybe Ukraine will do something about that, since we won't.
Hopefully.
They seem to have a lot of resources over there in Ukraine.
How much of this do you think is just a show for the public, and then behind the scenes we're actually doing more than we say?
Well, I hope so.
I hope so too.
Because it's embarrassing. It's becoming embarrassing.
It is. It really is.
Costs us more to take out a drone. Just take out a factory.
Take out the factory and take out the people that are making it and take out the scientists that are developing this stuff. I mean, come on, this isn't rocket science.
Exactly.
This is just basic self-defense. If you don't
Oh,
want
no, they're
somebody
going to
shooting
nuke
at you,
Israel.
you better-
They'll nuke Israel if we do that. We can't do that.
Well, they're not going to nuke us. Are you kidding?
No, they'll nuke Israel.
They're not going to nuke Israel. I mean, if we let
Well,
them,
if they don't
yes,
mind
if
being
we
nuked,
let them have a, yeah, you're right. If we let them have a nuclear weapon, they will.
absolutely, yes. And then if they don't mind being nuked themselves, because that's the whole mad theory.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they have one or two nuclear warheads, and Israel has probably 100 missiles with multiple reentry vehicles, so
exactly, yes.
they just shoot up one or two, and that's the end of Persia.
Exactly. So, what do we? If that's the way they want to go, you're probably not going to stop them. But we may these days be able to shoot that missile down. We're pretty good at that.
Or it may just crash into Baghdad on the way over.
Could, yeah.
You never
Let's go
know.
straight up, come back straight down. Who knows?
So you remember the Russian Scud missiles that they sold to the Iraqis?
Yes, I do.
That they launched in the 1990s, and they didn't even get close.
It was just blind shooting. Not like today.
And it's like the Russians developing a nuclear powered missile rocket, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, come on, this isn't going to work, and this is not going to be a game changer anyway."
Right. What do you really use it for? What makes it any better than the regular missile? Go a little faster, maybe?
Propulsion. Once you get out into space, I guess you can use beta particles, electrons to push you forward, shoot them out the back.
So they just want missiles going around the planet all the time so they can direct them where they want them to go at a moment's notice.
Yep.
I guess. Whatever.
And speaking of space, did you hear about Boeing's Starliner?
I know it's back. Did it ever leak? Was it safe? Did we find out if it was safe?
Well, there's a big debate going on, and Boeing, of course, has taken a hit. As you know, they've had some bad news over the past couple of years. And so they say it's safe, but, somebody in NASA said, no, it's not safe. Well, it's NASA's mission. So Boeing's going to take this thing and take a look at it. It came back on its own, Ken.
Yeah, I know, but what was it? What were they fearing? I never heard what they were fearing. Was it some sort of a leak, oxygen leak that they were looking at?
I think so. No, there was something with the reentry, I believe, with the reentry, but I don't remember.
But apparently everything worked okay.
Hey, it came back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but would the little dog be alive inside if he had been in there?
Well, she had puppies on the way. And the monkeys nursing them.
Referencing some early launches there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floating puppies.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of the days when we were tossing newborns.
One of those monkeys came back really upset because something shorted out during the flight in the cockpit. He was getting a shock every time he moved.
Yeah, well, and then they had freeze-dried dogs.
Oh, man.
It's terrible. Terrible the way they treat people these days.
Well, I'm glad it's safe. I guess.
So this Toronto guy's been arrested. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Need more of that? Because I'm sure there's more out there. That's the scary part.
Yeah, and it sounds like Kamala's getting a lot of coaching on how she's supposed to handle this debate. So she doesn't make too many guffaws and actually has some idea of what she's talking about. I don't think she's going to say anything, Ken. I just don't see her getting up there and being a real policy wonk. I think she's going to get up there and just say platitudes and say, we need price controls, which of course isn't going to happen. We need this, and I want to tax the rich. And I mean, these are all pretty standard.
We've heard it all before.
Yeah, this is all standard Democratic pre-election baloney, because they know they can't get. I mean, a lot of what they say is something that's on Congress's bailiwick, not in the White House. And
right, you would need both houses of Congress even start, and even then, you're going to find that the folks in the lobby field will change the minds of some of your colleagues, even though they are Democrats. and you may not get what you
you're
want
not
through.
going to see you're not going to see these Democrats that are worth tens of millions of dollars voting to increase their
No, of course not.
and they're not going to do that. Come on, they may be
No.
crazy, but they're not stupid.
Yeah, it sounds great now, but they'll all be on board right now until the election. Then,
Yeah, so I think that this is all a lot of baloney, and but I don't think it's going to be much of a debate because I don't think she's going to debate. I think she's just going to answer any question with a platitude. They say, well, what do you think about the Israeli Hamas war? And she's going to say, we have to have peace. We need an agreement between the two, and we need a separate, independent Palestine. Which
I think she's going to be calling heavily for the UN to step in at this point, just to get it out of just get it off the plate. Here, you take it.
Do you think she can spell the UN? Is that in her bailiwick or is that over her head?
Give it to somebody else. I don't want to play with this anymore.
I mean, she's about as qualified as Spiro Agnew was to be president.
Old Spiro, I haven't heard that name in a while.
He was the vice president under Nixon, and he resigned because of corruption. And when he was tapped to be the vice presidential candidate, they had to sit down and teach him basic geography. He didn't know where anything was in the world. He couldn't find Spain.
How could you not know where Spain is and get to that level of government? How is that possible?
I have no idea, Ken. I have no idea. How do you get to be the vice president and you can't even put a sentence together that makes sense? I mean, it's just amazing. But they wanted somebody of color, a female, to be on the ticket with Biden, and it worked. It pulled in a few extra votes, and Biden got elected, squeaked in.
You know what? That's absolutely right. But that's the way the world is right now because of television and the internet. I think we should do away with both. Go back to radio. Nothing but radio.
Radio. Absolutely.
Just radio.
I'm all for that.
Me too. Even newspapers, go away. Just radio. That's all you'll have.
And then you just hear us talking and you won't see our pretty faces.
Yeah, I'm afraid that would have to go too, Doc. Yeah, that would be sad.
That would be. And meanwhile, they're making a big deal over this Turkish American girl that was protesting in the Gaza, not Gaza, but I think was it Gaza or was that on the West Bank? I can't remember.
I think that was the West Bank.
West Bank, yeah. And they started hurling bottles and rocks at Israeli soldiers. And so the Israelis shot into the crowd and nailed her in the head, and she's dead. And so now everybody's all upset because an American citizen has been killed by the mean Israelis.
Well, what about the Americans killed by the mean Hamas people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset. I'm sorry for the family and for her, but what are you doing protesting? I mean, you're 27 years old, you're educated, you hold dual citizenship. What are you doing going to the Palestinians and protesting for them? It makes no sense. I mean, what are these people thinking?
That they're going to make a difference, I guess. I don't know. They're not.
They're not going to make a difference.
No, not at all.
No.
Israelis are going to do what the Israelis are going to do, and no one's going to stop them.
Well,
that's probably the way it should be. They're defending themselves.
Yeah, self-preservation is the first law. If you don't get that one down, the rest of the day is pretty well shot.
That's pretty much true, Doc.
Yeah, pretty much. The trip is over. Speaking of which, we're going to New Orleans this week for 5 days. So,
you're willing, Doug.
Yeah, we decided not to go overseas for our vacation, so we're just going to take a 5-day. She has not seen New Orleans, and she's curious about it.
Not going during Mardi Gras, though. That would be the time to go.
But we can't. That's our busy season, as you know. That's when the Canadians and the snowbirds all come back down here.
That's right. February,
and start perching.
Well, enjoy. I love New Orleans.
Oh, it's a great city. Wouldn't want to live there, but it's great to visit.
You'll find some nice music, really good music.
Music and food and ambiance.
Witchcraft, too.
She wants to ride the streetcar named Desire, so we're going to have to go find out where that's running, which track it's on, and go take that
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
In for repairs.
What else did we see there when we were in New Orleans?
Well, there's Jackson Square and the cathedral, and you go down to Cafe Du Monde, which is right out by the levee, as you know. And the levee is the big dam that holds the Mississippi River in and keeps it from flowing over into New Orleans, which is below sea level.
Right.
So you can get a beignet, which is a donut, a New Orleans donut, and a cup of coffee, and you walk over to the levee, and you look up, and the levee's about 8 or 10 feet higher than you are. And so you got to go up the steps, and then you can sit on top of the levee, and there's the Mississippi River. It's a fascinating city.
Well, enjoy. I know. It was a cruise stop, but we were stopping there, I think, or we left there. I think it was. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
All right.
Should be fun. So, any rate, now, by the way, speaking of traveling, the TSA, if you're a special traveler, if you have the fast pass or whatever it is, then they can take your picture, your face picture, and you don't even have to go through a lot of the security. The camera will scan you and say, yeah, you've been, pre-checked. I guess it's a TSA pre-check. And so now the big debate is, well, if they have your face, what will they do with it? Will anybody get a hold of it and use it? I don't know, Ken. Hell, when the doctors were complaining that they didn't want to be fingerprinted back in the 90s by the state, I said, what are you going to do with it? I mean, it'll be in a drawer up in Tallahassee somewhere. Nobody will ever see them unless you do something wrong.
I just say don't do anything illegal. You'll be fine.
Yeah, who cares? And now I guess Amazon has a palm scanner. So you can enter your credit card information, your personal information, get everything in there and do a palm scan. And then when you go to what's their food store, Whole Foods or whatever it is,
just put your palm down and
put your palm down. You don't need your wallet. You don't need an ID. You don't need a credit card. Cuts down on theft.
Not very sanitary.
And now with the palm print, Amazon says nobody can use it because this is all digitalized and it won't make any sense since we have it encrypted and it's not a picture of your palm. Actually, it's a digital image of the whorls and squirrels and little things that are in your palm. The creases in your palm and the microscopic stuff. But so I don't know. It seems like it's safe to me, but what do I know?
I just don't know how much you can trust computers these days.
Well, I sleep with mine, so we're pretty intimate.
Okay, you're closer than most folks.
Yeah. That way, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I can play some games.
I don't know, Doc. You're still going to go through the metal scanner if you get all that right for TSA. That's just get you a shorter line. I don't think you're going around the scanners in any way.
I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. You probably won't have to go through some of the lines. It'll be kind of like the fast pass lane now.
Yeah, it'll just be a shorter line.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway. They're not just letting unscreened people on planes just because they passed a retina scan or something. That doesn't mean you don't carry a weapon.
Well, that's true. I mean, you'll have to probably go through a metal detector to make sure.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, you're not like this kid in Georgia and went ballistic at the last moment.
So just a little shorter lane. I'll bet it's about $120 too to the government for something like that.
Probably. Now, we did go over and get the fast pass and the global reentry and all that. And you actually have to go over there for an interview at the TSA office at the airport.
Oh, do you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Good. I like that.
Mind. I mean,
that's great.
You want to see my face and take a picture? Go ahead. I'm pretty.
Yeah. Come to my house.
Yeah, come on over.
So look around.
Yeah, bring some FBI agents with you.
We'll have a barbecue. Yeah.
There you go. You can take my camera and my microphone. I'll just go buy another one.
Doc, we're about 2 minutes away here.
All right. So Hamas now, the main concern they have if they negotiate with Israel is that they're allowed to rebuild their military. What? That ain't gonna work, bud. That is not gonna work. But that's what they're saying. That's their
That's what they're
rap.
saying, are they? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they want. They said we're not going to negotiate unless we can keep our guns and our weapons.
Yeah. No. That's not going to work at all.
And also we want our grenades and
Sure. And throw some tanks in there too. Come on, give us some tanks. Let's make it a fair
the
fight.
United States will give us some tanks and some missiles. We'll make peace.
And then we'll have a ceasefire then for about 30 minutes.
And you know what? If you give Palestine a ranking, an admission into the UN as a country, they're all going to leave. They're all going to get a passport and come over to the United States.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is all about. It's about getting out.
1 minute, Doc.
Those who are smart enough.
1 minute, Doc. So
1 minute. All right. So
you want to talk about the business for a while?
Yeah, we'll talk about business. We have a full service office, X-ray lab, echo, ultrasound. We can scan any part of your body with the ultrasound machine, and we practice cardiology and general medicine and do some minor surgery and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And you're always welcome there. We're at 727-384-6411, 727-384-6411. That's 6399 38th Avenue North, St. Pete, Florida. Telemedicine is available from anywhere in the United States or its outlying territories or Puerto Rico or anywhere that the United States goes. We're there with you.
Thanks, Doc. Say goodbye.
Bye, Doc.
And let's say hello to Jeff if he's there. Jeff, you hear me, buddy?